Hey guys, so me and Mark are back and we're going to cover the bits that we missed out of the last Kill Team demo video we did because we thought that maybe it would be a bit overwhelming to do it all in one go. So we are going to, you'll see bits flash up on the screen, so don't worry about if you can't see what I'm talking about. But these are your character cards that every character has got. And on the character cards you will see at the very top there's all the stats for all the weapons, the movement, the strength and all that sort of generic stuff you would expect to see in a 40k game. I'm going to move that because it's difficult to hold it. So also on here you have characters' abilities. The abilities we're not going to talk about because they're many and varied and they can all be found in the main rulebook.
Yeah, they're all explained in your rulebook, so don't forget about that.
Yep. So all in the main rulebook for that one. The next thing is specialisms or specializations. They are the classes, yes, essentially.
So your leader is the first one you'll get because you have to have a leader in your kill team. Your leader will give you access to a tech tree, which will give you access to various skills and abilities. I'll flash up on the screen when I do the edit. But essentially, the first one that your leader gets is resourceful. This will give you another command point each turn, as long as he's not dead and he is not shaken. Other ones, like snipers, are voluntary. You can choose not to take them. You don't have to, or you might not have access to them, depending on what your kill team allows for the troop choices of them.
I don't think I get a sniper, do I?
I think you do actually.
Do I? Cool.
But yes, but but if you have a sniper, for example, they have an ability as soon as you choose them as a sniper to reroll miss rolls of 1 when they are shooting at somebody. You can never have any more than one specialist of a particular type in the game.
Otherwise, cheating you are.
Yes.
So now we mentioned command points just then. So now we'll move on to the command points. Every kill team has a command point. And if the leader has resourceful...
So every turn, just to clarify,
okay,
at the beginning of every turn, you could generate 1 command point. Your leaders have the ability resourceful that we just spoke about. That generates another 1 every turn.
So bare minimum, every turn, 2.
If your leader's on board, yes.
If your leader's on the board and not shaken.
Yes.
So command points are spent every turn, 1 at a time, to play cards, basically... to play cards like these, which Mark will flash up.
Yep.
This is the leader one, lets you do some funky stuff.
So basically in that example, I've got a setup here. So in this example, you would pile in, so these 2 would be on here, because that would be the fight phase, and that's how the first part of the fight phase is piling in. If you look, again I will flash this on screen for you, this tactic card, you would play this spending 1 of your command points, and that allows your leader to lead by example. This means that these 2 would then be able to fight before this character gets a chance to respond. It's a bit of a dirty little tactic, but that's the whole point. It allows you to break the game and do something you would not normally be allowed to do within the game.
So the leader gets some, all the specialisms get some.
Yes, each of them, if you play through a campaign, you'll level up your specialists. They will, for each level that they're at, they will get an additional tactic that will open up to them. So,
and then available to every faction are these 6, which hopefully Mark is going to lovingly add in an edit that makes them look great. And then, so they're your 6, and they are all really good. I've read some of them, they're really good. And then you also get faction-specific tactics, which you can use. Most of them cost 1 or 2 command points, I've seen. These are the Adeptus Mechanicus ones, Scutaris. You also get, in the main box, you also get the cult, the Gene Stealer cult ones as well. So you get loads of these, but there is a data cards box you can get, can't you, with all of them in as well.
That has all the generic ones. If you didn't buy the base game, then that will give you access to all these generic ones and the class-specific ones like the Sniper and the Scout and all the rest of it. So don't worry, if you did not buy the base game, you can pick them up for £9 from us. They're not expensive to get hold of.
They're really cheap to get hold of. So in the case of what we did the other day, that was basically the generic stuff, and when we get really dirty onto it and all the special extra rules that are in there, then you'll find the rest of what is
starts getting really interesting. There's one thing that I held back from Tom the other day that I haven't told you about now because I want to be a surprise for you guys. So essentially, this is the scenario we had set up the other day. So just tucked inside here is his shotgun Gene Stealer cultist. Now he was in a conundrum because he couldn't really move and shoot and do an awful lot. But with the command points now in play, this makes a hell of a difference. So what he could do now is move his shotgun guy out from here to be within 1 inch. This then nullifies my character's ability to shoot, as well as his character's abilities to shoot. But wait, there's more. At this point, in the shooting phase, he plays the card, which I'll flash up on screen for you. I like to keep this handy card. Now, this card says, use the tactic at the beginning of your shooting phase, pick a model from your kill team armed with a shotgun, and it becomes pistol 2. Now, this is important because pistol weapons can shoot when they are within 1 inch. So he then unloads both barrels into this guy, and if he does still survive, at the fighting phase, the rules stipulate that if you are within 1 inch, you then can pile in up to 3 inches to get into combat. So he basically increases his odds of either shotgunning me in the face and killing me outright, or just
clubbing you to death with the other end of a shotgun.
I mean, worst case scenario, unless he's really, really unlucky, the worst case scenario is that he shoots this guy, he does a flesh wound on him, and then piles in. At which point he's then going, well, I'm now fighting you at an advantage because you are now flesh wounded. So as you can see, a command point here and there can make the hell of a difference. And the command points, the command cards, the tactic cards, they can be used multiple times in a game. You are limited only to playing the same card once each turn. So this card that I've just spoken to you about here could only be used once in this turn, and the next turn he'd be able to use it again to do some other shenanigans.
Yeah, I couldn't use it on that guy and then use it on another guy in the same turn.
No.
I would have to use it later.
Yes.
Which does make them a little fairer, but all the cards are really good. They've got on them when you can use them. From what I can see, there doesn't look like there's a great deal of ambiguity within any of the cards. No. It's like, and at the bottom of the card it also says, yes, if another player uses this tactic, roll off, the winner goes first. So in the case of decisive move, which you'll see on the span over when Mark does the generic ones, just at the very bottom it just says if both players use it, roll off, and that's the order it takes, which is really good. So it's not a race to just chuck cards down and hope that you're the first one to use it.
I have to say,
I like that.
Kudos to GW, they've written this really well, and they've also, the mechanic, they've done something that is, I think they've done it in their other games as well, but it works really well here, which is that if you don't spend your command points, then they carry over from turn to turn. So
if you start with 2 and don't use any next turn, you'd have 4.
Yeah. So
if you use 2 next turn, you would only regain 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it allows you to do some really madcap things, like if we wiggle these around a little bit, then if you charged in, killed this guy with his shotgun blast instead of So if you shot him with, you use that card,
shoot him.
Yeah, shoot him. He goes, then pile into him, and then you can play your universal leader tactic so that you can both dribble on him and kill him before he has a chance to do anything.
Yeah.
So you can save your points and do this big rush of power and really make a break for it, or you can kind of use them as a little bit.
Or whiff on your dice rolls and hope that hope the tactics cards pay off and you get there in the end.
I mean, to be fair, that's normally my tactic.
Yep, that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing.
But yeah, so basically we wanted to catch up because I felt like we had only showed you half of the game. It was kind of a Warhammer Light that we showed you the other day, and the tactics cards and command points and the specializations really add to the depth of this game and make it far, far more interesting than what I felt that we displayed in the video. So it's just a little addendum to add on to that so that you get a better feel for how the game actually plays.
And don't forget, guys, you can still order and buy Kill Team from Harlequins in Preston and Blackpool. We've got plenty of stock in if you want to come and pick it up. All the main stuff is 20% off, so you're getting a really good discount. The main box is £64. So you get all this that you're looking at, well, when it's not zoomed in, when you're looking at this, you're looking at all the buildings, all the cards, all the models, everything else. The tokens, the dice, which are really cool this time. They're not crappy dice, I like them. It literally £64. We got it in stock, so you can come and get that. Please like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel, like the videos, hit the little bell thing, because YouTube's algorithm's weird. We'll see you all again soon. Take care.
Cheers, guys.